Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another reading. This time it's on the royals again. So if you haven't seen my last royal reading, I'll put a link to it up here. It's been a while. But unfortunately, King Charles I think he was diagnosed with cancer. So everything has gone haywire. And so people are wondering if this is going to cause William and Harry to reconnect, or it's going to pull them apart or whatever. So I'm going to do a reading on how William and Harry are going to handle their bond moving forward, if they'll make amends or not. So we're going to take it from there and see what happens. Remember, these readings are all legend for timbers only. Let's get started. So, and if you like this, you can join my YouTube members. It's a $5, $10, $15 tier. You get access to exclusive pick a card, story times. You can be reading from me. Okay. So Harry's going to be on the left. Oop. And then William, right? Charles and William is the same name in my head, so I always forget them. He's going to be on the right. Okay. So Harry, William. Why I can't remember that. Energy between them. I do think it's going to bond them closer together. I'm sure there'll be friction at first because they're still mad at each other, but I do think that they're going to get close again. The Hierophant is about committing to something, and I understand that Harry also prioritizes marriage, which is what the Hierophant is, but I also see that as committing, and so when I'm looking at a dynamic between the two of them, I see that as him committing to something, and the Ten of Cups is like a happily ever after. It's like everything I've always wanted. It's also family, and that's what William shows up as. So I think that William has always been a little bit more of the way I've seen him, he's been more of like a dad and like a father figure acted that way. And it seems like he's been a little bit more like stoic. And I think this is going to bring out a softer side to him, more of a nurturing side. And I see Harry kind of needing that. So it's almost like it softens William, which then opens Harry up to the possibility of them bonding again. The Lover's card is about peace. That's about, the bond that they share with each other. I think it might bring about some codependency as well. There's a panic and a clinginess that I feel. I really feel like Harry might be, I know Harry's like known as an emotional, like always having an emotional outburst, but I think he's a very clingy person. And so I kind of see him trying to cling on to his family again. I see a panic for some reason. There's some sort of panic. I definitely think that there's a worry here when it comes to, I think it might bring up some trauma when it comes to their mother, the Empress, that's their mom. And the Knight of Swords is reversed and the Seven of Pentacles, which makes me feel like I think Harry is worried about William for a change. I just see Harry being very, very worried about William. I think that he's worried that William is going to have to make decisions he doesn't want to have to do and be a person he doesn't want to have to be. It's almost like Harry wants to save William before it's too late, because I think that both of them I think when they were younger, they both, because I see them as kids being like, I don't want to do this. Mom wouldn't want us to do this. I don't want to do this. Like, this is not who I want to be. Like, I don't want to be king. And I see William agreeing. And then when he gets older, kind of like going back on that and be like, we have to, like, it's our responsibility. And it's almost like Harry's like, oh, you believe the hype. Like you got brainwashed, when William is just like, this is just how it has to be. And I don't think that Harry realizes that William took on responsibilities to protect Harry so that Harry wouldn't have to, because William sees himself as a parental figure to Harry. So I think he did protect Harry in a lot of things, and he doesn't see that. And that's why I see, because masculine and feminine, that's what this is. This is masculine energy. This is feminine energy. So it's like, I see Harry almost being like, trying to protect him, almost like a worried mom being like trying to protect him and being like, what are you doing? Like, this, don't do this. Like, you can't be king. Like, you can't be in charge. Like, this is not for you. And it's like a last ditch effort. So it's definitely going to bond them, but it's going to be weird. It's not super, it's like a gray area. between the two of them. I'm sure they're going to fight because this stuff like this is heavy, so it's going to lead to friction, but it is still a bond. What's interesting is I do not see their wives involved at all. I'm seeing their wives being told to stay the fuck out of it. Like, shut up and sit down, to both of them, actually. It's weird. The Judgment card is reversed, the Knight of Cups is reversed, and the King of Pentacles is reversed, which is like, for me, it's like, this is the men's problem. Shut up. Like, that's what I hear. It's like, stay out of it. And I see both of them doing that. Both of them being like, stay out of this. Like, almost aggressive. And it's like, don't hit a nerve. This isn't your business. Like, it's almost like they're protective of this bond and they're protective of this story. They're both very guarded about this. I don't blame them. I actually think this is smart. The Judgment card being reversed and the Knight of Cups says that when other people get involved, it becomes chaos. And I think that they're trying to keep this argument to the two of them and the two of them alone. This is very smart. So even though the energy feels very harsh to me and very direct, I do think it's necessary, and I don't think it's anything personal. I think it's more like, just shut the fuck up. Like, I think I see both of them kind of being fed up and being like in survival mode. And it seems like there's like some level of like, the walls are back up with the two of them. What I'm seeing is like the two of them realizing like, you're an outsider. Like, even if you're my wife of 10 years, you're still an outsider. You don't get it. Like, I'm a little worried actually for Harry's marriage, because I think Kate is probably a little bit more used to things like this because she's a part of the royal life. But I'm actually worried about Harry's marriage because I don't know if his wife is ready to handle that energy, because I don't think she's used to that. Because it's like, this is a family problem, stay out of it. And they're both doing this. I see them both doing this. I see them isolating and locking things down. I also think with the Judgment card, there's some form of them being afraid of the public getting information before they do. And so there's a lot more tight-lipped energy. And I think Harry is not going to tell his wife certain things, because he knows that it gets out no matter what he does. And so I think for once he's going to keep his mouth shut about some things. That's why I'm like, I don't know, dude. There's something weird going on here where they're just keeping it in the family. It's like they want their family secrets to remain family secrets, and they're worried that all their family secrets are going to be exposed. It's weird. It's very strange to me. I don't really understand this dynamic. I mean, I don't give a fuck about the Royals, and I don't follow them at all, so I have no idea what's going on. So if you guys know something about the Royals, you can put in the comments down below what the hell that means, but I can only tell you what the energy is I pick up. Nine of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune reverse, and Knight of Pentacles. I think that Harry has an abandonment wound, and I see it triggered. The Nine of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune reverse. It's almost like, because this is like before Harry was married, right? This is when he was single, and everyone was saying he was making bad decisions, and he was rebellious and did what he had to do. But for some reason, this has triggered his abandonment wound, and I see him kind of freaking out. I'm a little worried about Harry having a midlife crisis. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling midlife crisis over here, because this is about second guessing every decision I've ever made in my entire life because of his abandonment wound being triggered. And I'm sure this is triggering a lot of trauma with the death of his mom as well. So I'm a little worried for a midlife crisis over here, because it just seems like I see him panicked, and afraid to lose everything in his life, and being like, did I make the right decisions? Because listen, I've lost my dad to cancer, and so I kind of understand this energy. There's a feeling of him going back through his life and feeling like, well, if I die tomorrow, did I do everything I wanted to do? Am I really happy? He's reassessing everything in his life. So he's definitely a ball of emotion, and it's going to be difficult for him to maintain any connection he has currently in his life. Like, his marriage is going to go through a really rough patch. His friendships are going to go through a rough patch. It's definitely difficult for him. The Three of Wands being upright, the Seven of Swords, and the Hangman is like, I got what I wanted, but at what cost? So there's a reflection going on here. It's probably pretty difficult, right? I mean, living the life as a royal is probably not all it's cracked up to be. But then separating yourself from the royals is probably not all it's cracked up to be either. He's kind of in between a rock and a hard place. So I see William just stepping up to the plate when it needs to and reluctantly taking on the burden. I just feel like William shows up as a shield to me. He shows up as a shield to Harry, and I don't think Harry realizes it, but he's going to start to realize it. I think that William is a shield to everyone. I think William is strong and can take it, and so he takes on the brunt of most of the shit in the family, and that was his role. And I think the only reason Harry has been able to act the way he does is because of William. I just see him as a shield. Harry is like a worrywart running around being crazy and emotional, and I see William just standing there with a shield in his hand and just knocking, like he's sitting there with a shield in his hand in my mind's eye, and he's knocking at all the things that are coming at them, and I see Harry running behind him like a little kid. And it makes me sad because I think that's how they were raised, you know? I think they kind of set William up to be that type of person as the older brother. And I think they knew that Harry was a sensitive child, and they kind of just, yeah, it's kind of just sad to me. The family dynamic makes me really sad. The Queen of Pentacles upright, the Magician's upright, and the Three of Pentacles. To me, that makes me think of Kate, which tells me that she's more than ready to be queen if she needed to. But she's more than ready to be to do what she needs to do. The Three of Pentacles is reversed, which tells me that she's willing to drop whatever for William. Little strange to me how she's like so ready to ride or die for her man. Because I don't know if I would necessarily see them as like madly in love, but I see her as having a lot of respect for him. It's weird. When I look at Kate and I look at William, they're the same person, just different genders. Like they think the same. They both handle responsibility. They're both the shield. So I work in metaphors, and so it's hard for me to explain things to you without telling you what I see. And I'm trying to get better at like telling you what I see before I interpret it so that you can follow along. I see him wearing a shield, and then she stands next to him and pulls out her own shield, which makes me think that they're the same person. And I think both of them would be together even if they never had sex. Like to me, if they're at a dead bedroom, they'd still be together because that's the right thing to do. Like they're both like that. So it's like weird. Their dynamic is very strange to me. Two of Wands, King of Swords, Nine of Swords. There's someone else in the family or in the dynamic that has a mouth on them that is going to be the new target. And it's not Harry. It's a King of Swords. Someone adjacent to the family or in the family. I don't really know. But it's a King of Swords. It's someone that causes a lot of problems, has a big mouth. Three of Swords is someone that no one likes. Nine of Wands in the Sun reverse is someone that they have friction with. There's definitely some problem here. And I see them being unhappy with what's going on and causing problems. So it's almost like we have a mutual op. It's like Harry and William have a mutual op. So there's definitely some focus on someone who feels like they're either a part of the family or really close to the family, but they're still like an outsider to the inner circle, kind of. They're like, because I see like Harry and William here, and then I see a random person over here, and it's a guy. It's definitely a male, but there's a woman next to him, and they cause a lot of problems. It's almost like they're trying to punch in, and they're like, well, if I can't have that, you can't have it either. I'm going to expose you. There's some sort of fight. These two cause problems. It's almost like these two are waiting for their turn. I can just see them all tugging over. It's like they're tugging. It's like a tug of war, and I see the two sides tugging over a crown. This is hard for me because I really don't know anything about the world, so I really don't give a fuck. No shade. I'm just not British. The Temperance card is reversed, the Four of Swords upright, and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, I just see Harry and William both not liking this person and being like, we need to deal with this person. Our family needs to be our family. They need to stay out of this shit. We need to deal with this person. There's a war going on there. A silent war. Temperance reverse, Four of Swords, and Knight of Wands. I can tell you what, I don't see Megan in this reading at all. She's not here at all. The Knight of Wands, the Four of Swords, and the Temperance is basically about Harry getting angry at someone, but she's not here. Oh, she's not here at all. I think she might not be allowed in certain places, and that might be why. Because I see her kind of like, you didn't want to be a part of this, you stay over there. And honestly, I think she's, for some reason, I see her kind of just dealing with that. Five of Swords, Hermit reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles. I see her just being like, yeah, I mean, she's going to be slightly petty, but that's just kind of her personality. But I don't really see her doing anything about that because I see her just being like, whatever. Yeah, the Six of Cups. She's like, this is your own childhood bullshit. I don't want to deal with it. And I also see her being like, I need to take care of the kids. That's her excuse, by the way. Chariot reverse and Seven of Wands, like that's her excuse. I need to take care of the kids. No, you don't. You're not allowed in. Which makes sense. I mean, you don't like the royals. They don't like you. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to be allowed everywhere either. Like, who cares? Like, I wouldn't want to be around my in-laws if they were crazy either. So I don't think she cares that much, right? You don't like your in-laws. So why would you want to be around them? That makes sense. Ten of Swords reverse, Seven of Cups reverse, and the Four of Cups. Yeah, I just don't see her very worried. I will say the Ten of Swords reverse and the Seven of Cups, which means that she feels like if she's not around Harry, Harry will self-sabotage and cause issues. There's a part of her that feels like she needs to overcompensate for Harry because she feels like Harry's incompetent. But I'm like, girl, you married him. You should have known that. It's almost like she's a type A person who like wants to control Harry because if Harry's left to his own devices, he'll self-destruct. But yeah, duh, that's what you married. So yeah, he's going to be on his own. He probably will do self-destructive behavior. That's who you married, babes. You can't change a man. You're going to learn that one the hard way. They are who they are when you meet them. They don't just change. That's their personality. You got to love them for their faults. Justice reversed, Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of weird royal rules that are going to be enacted. There's a lot of really old ancient laws and rules that they've never enacted before that they're going to conveniently enact. I don't know what that means, but I just see them going through like the way things used to be or the rule book. There's like a guidebook and a rule book, and I see them like blowing off the dust, going through it, and I see them pointing to a line and being like, technically, this is how it's supposed to go. And everyone is just going to be like, what the fuck? No one's followed that in 300 years. And they're going to be like, well, it's in the book, so technically we can enforce it. And I see a lot of shit like that happening. And it's going to cause a lot of problems in politics. It's going to cause a lot of problems in the laws that are happening. So there's going to be a lot of issues here. We're going to see a lot of drama with that because someone's dusting off an old testament or something, an old book. Again, I'm not British, so I have no idea what the fuck this means, but I kind of see them smirking about it and being like, well, I mean, technically it's here, and there's going to be a war over that. There's going to be a lot of fighting over that. And I think that's why we're going to see the relationships kind of take a backseat because this seems to be like the biggest battle that they're going to have between not only the British people, but the royals themselves. There's going to be a big battle over that. So that's why I think like Kate and Meghan are irrelevant in this fight because this is bigger than both of them. So I'm going to leave it at that. This was a juicier reading than I expected. If you like that, make sure you join my YouTube memberships. The $5, $10, $15 tier, you get access to pick a card, story times you can reading from me. Follow me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite, everywhere. I go live on YouTube here, so hit the bell for notifications and subscribe. And I go live on TikTok and Twitch, and I do readings for people there. Until next time, bye guys. Ooh, not at freezing. Girl, how come every time I do a royal reading, I have technical difficulties? Mama, the ghost of the queen is coming for me. No, it's okay. Diana will protect me.